Everyone in the service industry has a story, crazy customers, wild orders, and WTF moments. Do you want to start a tab? The podcast here to bring you those tales behind the bar. My name's Carl, and I've been on my journey for 13 years as a bartender.
That was a very weirdly structured sentence.
Thank you.
My name is Riley, and I've been on this journey for 10 years of correcting Carl's grammar.
And many, many more to come. It's exciting, isn't it? I want to keep you on your toes.
God, I really just want to enroll you into an intro to lit class or like a public speaking class or something at the local community college just to help you speak.
I speak well.
Oh my God, you said well.
See, I'm learning. I'm taking the long scenic route. So here on this lovely little podcast, we like to talk about hospitality stories.
Hospitality?
You know, I don't appreciate you anymore.
Yes, you do.
I do, very much so. Hospitality industry, usually on Reddit and other forums. Oh my God, you see, you screw me up in my flow.
You got no flow.
No flow. All right, so we talk about stories. We talk about through the eyes of the guest or the person in the industry. Could the situation be handled differently? Was it handled perfectly? And just enjoy and talk about other things that we can relate to. That was the longest way to say what the fuck we do on this podcast.
Right.
But we're going to keep moving forward because that's what we do. We don't go backwards, we move forward.
Correct.
And on this podcast, since we are adults who like to enjoy beverages here and there, we are having something that I don't know if you've had this yet.
Yeah, I tried it.
Okay. So this is technically not a wine.
No.
This is called a paquette. It is basically, you can't call it a wine supposedly because it doesn't use any grape juice. It uses all the aftermath of grapes, like the skin and whatever.
So everything after they make wine, they add it to a barrel.
Yeah.
And then they ferment it.
Basically, that's correct.
Yes.
This lovely little bottle is from Slovenia. And our good friends over at Cocktail Time with Kevin Koss are from Slovenia. And I messaged this to Kevin and he asked me what I thought about it. I go, I've never had anything like this before. So
it's from Grape Abduction Company.
Yep.
And
it's always going to be a lower ABV.
Yes.
This one's at 7%. I don't think they get too much higher than that I'm aware of, but
yeah,
from what I've kind of gathered, this is like the kombucha version of wine, you know? Right. It's carbonated, it's low ABV,
right,
and stuff like that. So I've already had this before. There's a big yeasty smell to it.
Yes, and there is a lot of sediment
Cheers.
in the bottom of the bottle, but it gives beer notes. It's like if you made a beer out of grapes is what I feel like it.
Yeah, the yeastiness is front, but it kind of has a little dry sour back into it.
Mm-hmm. It's nice.
It's like it's refreshing. I think like making like a French 75 or something out of this would be interesting.
Yeah.
But we're just going to drink it straight.
Right.
All right. Would you like to start or would you like me to?
I would be happy to start. So I said something to you before we started this episode. What did I say to you?
You said a lot of things to me.
Specifically about your intentions. Yeah, forget it. We'll talk about it in a minute.
Okay.
I said it because the story brought that to mind. It's called Hanlon's Razor, and I will explain that to you after the story.
Okay.
So this is from Reddit, Tales from Your Server, 5 days ago. So it was like 40 minutes old when I found this story. First customer complaint in over 5 years in the business. It's from Forsaken Ad 888. Oh, they've been a member for 4 years. They started adding how long they've been a member of Reddit, and I got really confused.
Oh, okay.
I'm a manager where I work, but we all work the floor as a team. One of my duties is to review our internal customer surveys and let our owners know if there's a complaint that needs to be addressed. It's a family-owned and operated franchise of a formerly once large corporation. Today we got a survey that called me out by name. Whichever one of us assigned into the POS has their name on the receipt. I accidentally overcharged them by one sandwich. It was an honest mistake, and their order is displayed for them where they can see on the customer-facing display. And also, their total would have seemed off by $10 or so if they had listened to me when I told them how much it was. Whatever, my mistake, and I own it. I was distracted by trying to train the new person while also ringing them up. The button for what they had was right next to the button for the sandwich I accidentally charged them for, so I probably just hit the wrong button. Tried to hit delete, didn't notice it didn't delete it. Still my fault, but not malicious. They are convinced that I was trying to take advantage of them and think I did it on purpose. They left a comment that there ought to be an owner or senior manager on site and make sure that customers aren't taken advantage of. Twice they used this wording. Said that if they had come back in to contest the charge, it would have been my word against theirs. 1, I am the manager. 2, if they had just called, I would have apologized profusely, refunded their money, offered to make them another sandwich, tossed in a cookie, my go-to for minor issues, etc. I would have made it right, and had they given me the chance, but they didn't. Also, they bitched about the mandatory tip. There's literally an option on that screen for no tip, so that one is on them. It's my first customer complaint ever, and I take great pride in my work and my service skills, and all our regulars adore me for it. I know I shouldn't care, but this person thinks I'm a thief, and it's painful.
So Subway?
I mean...
Or something like that.
Something...
But, I mean, I'm not judging. I'm just curious because it says offer a cookie and then they have the tip thing on there, you know, whatever. So, but yeah, shit like that happens all the time. You just accidentally ring it up. And so what makes it even more, it's a place like that is that ticket's not going to a kitchen.
Right.
To where people are making them. They're making the things themselves.
Right.
So, again, I'm not judging. It's just it's like a Jimmy John's or a Subway, something like that. And so, I mean, that shit happens all the time. I've accidentally hit things I shouldn't have, or I've accidentally not rang in things I should have, you know.
Right.
I thought I did.
Right. And so Hanlon's razor is a psychological principle. It says it's a mental shortcut that teaches us never to attribute malice to that which is adequately explained by stupidity or incompetence. The customer in this scenario is the asshole.
Absolutely.
You didn't listen. Mm-hmm. You didn't pay attention. Mm-hmm. You paid the bill. Mm-hmm. You're too busy bitching about the tip. Mm-hmm. You could have identified that this was a problem and just had it fixed.
Yep.
And instead you decide to go out of your way to do customer complaints, stuff like that. If you had paid attention, everybody catches bills on their errors. We're human. Mm-hmm. Or errors on their bills. Not bills on their errors. Everybody catches errors sometimes, and just pay attention. If you'd been paying attention, this wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, like, I mean, unless you ordered like 8 or 9 sandwiches, maybe that number didn't seem off to you. But if you ordered like 2,
right,
and that $10 should be 30+% more than what the bill should have been.
Right.
And I get it. Sometimes you're not paying attention either. You're just going through the things, and a lot of things are distracting. But like to say that, oh, they would have just been.
They're trying to take advantage of me. They're trying to take advantage of me.
Like
he's trying to steal from me. No, that's attributing malice to an instant where there is stupidity or incompetence or just not paying attention.
Yeah.
Like there are these people that have this mentality that everybody's out to get me. Everything happens to me. No, I don't take accountability because it's everybody's out to get me.
Yeah, and for the customer just to instantly write a bad review, and they bluntly said in the review that they wouldn't even done anything for me. Well, how do you know? If you called and they said they didn't do anything, sure, write the review. But again, we can't fix, as a manager, as a business, you can't fix anything until it's brought to your attention.
Right.
Because, you know, like shit happens all the time. Or it's like when people, you know, when you go up to the table, you touch a table. Touching a table means when a manager goes up to tables, asks how everything's going, and moves on. And you don't say anything until after you ate everything or you drank everything. Then you want something to be taken care of. It's like, well, I could have fixed the issue if you had brought it to my attention at the very beginning. Or if you got home, your to-go order was incorrect or something like that, you know.
Right.
So actually what's kind of crazy about something like that, the Taco John's that's right down our street, it says on a little piece of paper, if there's something wrong with your order, you have to call us within like 4 hours of the order. Because
as you should. Because people are going to sit there and just take advantage of it later. They must have a lot of issues about people doing that. Oh, I guarantee you they do.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just like, I understand sometimes you don't want to do confrontation just because you personally don't like confrontation. But you obviously like confrontation, but you don't want to.
You want to be passive aggressive about
Yes,
it. You
that's
want
what I
to
mean.
be a keyboard warrior about it.
Yeah.
And if something's wrong, fix it. And if somebody charged me for if I had charged somebody for an extra sandwich, I'd have felt when I was a server, I felt bad when I forgot ranch. And that was 50 cents. Or some places we didn't even charge for it, depending on where I worked.
Right.
Like if I forgot to give the customer what they wanted, or I brought something wrong out to them, I felt guilty about that. And granted, this is my anxiety, but I would kick myself for that for like days.
Right.
And this guy, I mean, kudos to him for like taking pride in his work and like feeling really bad about this.
Yeah.
It seems so aggressively petty and obviously to think that somebody is trying to do you wrong instead of the fact that they made a mistake.
Right. That's so stupid.
Like we work in an industry, the hospitality industry is ultimately an industry of human error. And trying not to make those errors.
Right, because your brain's running a million times an hour. Like you're trying to do multitasking. He was training someone, so
Right.
like he's trying to make sure he teaches them everything correctly.
Right. And this guy's being super gracious. I guarantee you these people were like going super fast and like probably had 1.5 billion mods. You know, the type of people.
Right. Oh, but yeah.
I rate this story a 2.
I agree. It happens all the time. People are always willing to write reviews, send feedback before they allowed anything to be tried to be fixed at the restaurant. I get it. Sometimes there is just some things that are happening that you just want to get the fuck out of there. You don't want anyone to talk to you anymore. It can't be fixed.
Right. And I mean, maybe it's possible that these guys have had this situation happen.
Right.
And maybe that's why they're such dicks about it. She doesn't do.
The women in this household and their toilet. But right, yes. That's what I was kind of thinking too earlier was maybe this happened like 2 or 3 times to them and they just like they never get the satisfaction that they're looking for or the result or the outcome that they're looking for.
Maybe.
But I don't know. To like accuse someone from just bluntly stealing from you like in $10, like
Yeah. Like is it Occam's razor that the simplest answer is probably the correct one?
I think so.
And the simplest answer is this dude just button mashed.
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes it happens. And he seemed totally willing to make it right if they had just asked. So.
All right. Let's see. All right. If you have a story similar to this and would like to let us know about it, we do have a subreddit. Do you want to start a tab? It is in the link of the description of this episode you're listening to. We'd love to hear it. Anything. Or if you'd like to give us a call, 563-277-0072. If you'd like to just call us, give us any feedback about our stories, how we run this podcast. You have a story yourself. Anything is always appreciated. And we will take any feedback very kindly. All right. So I don't know. This story's not similar, but this is from the Bartender subreddit 1 day ago from Meat Eating Eating Orchids. Meat Eating Orchids. This is the username. Yep. The name of this story is called We're Alphas.
Oh boy.
Yep. I work at a bar that is a whiskey focused and overall pointed towards the male gaze. I am one of the very few women we have on staff. Today we have a couple of fellows in their button-down slacks and laptop bags. Normal enough, and I cast no harsh judgments until I hear this guy talking to my bar back. Yeah, we play pickup basketball games at 6 in the morning on Sundays. We've got the CEO for the Mayo Clinic, guys that are insert a bunch of titles and sounds oppressive to a newbie, to a normie. You know, just a bunch of alphas. It's the best. Had to walk away before they saw the look on my face. LMAO. Very proud of the guys that I work with for roasting the shit out of these guys when they left. We all agreed it was the absolute cringiest thing we've ever heard from a guest, and that's saying something from our clientele. Have you ever heard this outside of the internet?
Yeah.
First of all, that is not the cringiest thing you could have ever heard. Just a guy saying they play a fucking pickup basketball game.
Calling themselves alphas is the cringy
No,
part.
they didn't call themselves alphas. She's just saying, a bunch of alphas.
Oh.
She's calling these guys alphas for just talking that they're doing a pickup game and that they have the Mayo Clinic.
They're name dropping people and being pretentious and
that's not alpha at all.
I feel like a lot is lost in text. Because there's no inflection, there's no I've had a conversation similar to this as a server, and I understand where she's coming from.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but also, like, if you think this is the alphiest thing that's ever happening and you work in a whiskey bar with this type, I'm not saying that these guys should be allowed to talk however they want to, be kind of like assholes or whatever like that, but I don't know. Like, this is just this shit I hear at fucking Riverboat Lounge. I would hear at the Riverboat Lounge all the time, just shit like that. And I never thought this was any alpha. Then she said that I was so proud of these guys roasting the shit out of them after they left. Like, how are you proud of that? Like, who gives a shit? Like, everyone talks shit about customers after they leave. Like, I don't know. It seems super fucking weird.
I feel like we're missing so much. Like, there's so much of this story that we don't have, because in order to have that strong of a reaction, more would have had to happen. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't know. We can only go with what she says.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, saying good job, team, for talking shit about people after they left. That's like keyboard warring it,
No, that's not what she's saying.
What is she saying?
No, what she's saying is she's happy that the guys that she work with aren't like them.
No, very proud of the guys that I work with for roasting the shit out of these guys when they left.
Okay, but you have to. Yes, that's what she said. But what she means is for thinking these guys. If you're roasting somebody, it means you're making fun of them, which means you don't align with their values.
Oh, I understand that, but it's after they left.
Right. All she's saying is she's glad that their values don't align with the dude bros.
They're talking shit about people after they left. Why would you be proud of that? Like, good job. We all talk shit about people when they fucking leave.
No, it's I'm proud you don't align with their values enough to talk shit about them like this.
No, that's not what she's saying.
That is what she's saying.
That's not what she wrote.
Okay.
She said, I'm proud of the people I work with for roasting shit at them after these guys left.
I understand.
Okay, so that's what that means. They left, and then they talk shit about them. Is that not what she's saying?
That is what she's saying. Okay. However, like I previously stated, if their values had aligned with the dude bros sitting at the table, they wouldn't be roasting them. Correct?
What do you mean?
Like, if the guys that she worked with felt like they were the same as the guys at the table, they wouldn't be roasting them. They
Obviously,
would be
the people that should work
them.
with them can't align with them because they don't fuck. I understand what you're trying to say, but I think that is not what she's saying at all.
I 100% think that's what she's saying.
No way. That can't be, because no, I don't agree with that's what she's trying to say. I think she's just saying, like, good job, guys, for fucking making fun of them.
No, she's saying, good job, guys, for not having your values aligned with there enough to make fun of them with me.
Yeah, but I don't know. That seems super far-stretched, in my opinion. That's what she's trying to say. But it's also like, you guys aren't those people because you're fucking bartending. These people fucking, like, think they're better than you because they make way more money. So someone who's fucking a bar back isn't going to think that same mentality.
You'd be surprised.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I am actually surprised. Like, I don't know. I think this is a super honestly stupid posts that actually,
yeah, I think it's boring. I mean,
no, I'm doing it because like if this is what you think is like what alphas are, then you have no idea.
Yeah, I think it's a poorly written post. I think there was more to it.
Well, obviously there's always more to it, but we can only go off what they fucking wrote. But I'm just saying, like, to call a bunch of people that are just talking about what they do on their off time, like they're just playing basketball with certain people.
They're bragging about what they do with their off time, with whom they do it.
Yeah. Again, that's not being an alpha.
It's being an asshole.
It's being just fucking, what's the right word?
Pretentious prick.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But that's not being an alpha. I'm just saying, like,
There is probably some internal bias used while writing this, but at the same time, like having served a party very similar to this on multiple occasions, I can fill in the gaps.
Yep.
I think it's a 1.2.
What?
The story? I think it's a 1.2.
So you're saying it happens all the time when bartenders incorrectly call people what they are not, and then
The question in the post was, have you ever heard of something like this outside the internet?
yeah, but it doesn't matter what the question is. We're not
Fuck's sake.
what. We're not answering if what the question on the internet is. We're questioning this story happens. I'm sorry. I don't know people that label people so incorrectly.
Call Maggie right now.
What?
Was this post written by Maggie?
No, this is not written by Maggie.
I've heard this story from her like 4 times.
No. You're incorrect.
I think you have your dude goggles on and need to take a step back.
No. There is nothing alpha about people just talking about what they want to do on their basketball court and to what they're doing. That's not alpha.
So why are you so hung up on the idea of alpha?
Because that is what the fucking name of the title is. We're alphas. And she's calling these people alphas. And then the next part is, good job for my crew not being a bunch of alphas and talking shit behind their back. Like, who gives a fuck? Everyone talks shit behind everyone's back.
So again, you're arguing that it should be a 1.2 because everybody talks shit about other bartenders or about their customers behind their back.
I'm arguing with what her points of what an alpha is and being proud of her staff for talking shit. Like, that's the part I'm disagreeing with. Is like, who gives a fuck if you're proud for them? You talk shit about all your people. What are you laughing about? This is what I'm saying. Like, I've never heard anyone said, I'm proud of you guys for talking shit about those people. That's what she's saying.
We can be done with this story because I have nothing more to contribute because everything that I have.
All right, I give it a 3.
Really?
Don't be a dick. Tip your bartenders. Drink responsibly.
Jesus fucking Christ.